Hi friends, welcome to Taming Python series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to append rows or data frames to a pandas data frame. What I want to say is basically if you have a data frame and if you want to expand the data, if you want to add new rows to the data, how can you do that? I'm going to tell you two ways. One way is to use data frame dot append, which you can see here, df1 dot append df2. If you do that, you can keep one data frame below another data frame and you can expand your data frame. That's one way to do that. And you can add individual rows to a data frame using the lock function. You can create an index and the data and you can attach it to a data frame. So in this example, there was an index 0 and 1, and now I am telling df.lock2. That means I am telling give this data and at the index location 2, but there is no index location 2. That's why a new row is created. This way you can add individual rows to a data frame. So this is the gist of this post, guys. So this is a blank folder. I'm going to open it with VS Code. Yeah, my VS Code is open. Now I'll create a new file. I'll just name it index.py. Alright, now my new file is open. I'll just import pandas as pd. Now the first example I'm going to demonstrate is basically appending one data frame to another. That means I will keep one data frame below another data frame and I'll create a big data frame. So for that I need two data frames, right? So I'm going to copy the data frames from my example in the post. So I'm going to create a data frame called df1, and you can see I have created a data frame from a list of lists. Here these are the list of lists. So the first list will be the first row, second list will be the second row, and so on. And I'm given the column names to my data frame so that it looks good. And this is my data frame df1 and I'm going to print it. I'm just going to run it now. You can see I've got a data frame. I've got the columns A and B as I told in the initialization. Columns names are A and B, and the data rows are 1, 2 and 3, 4. So this way I have created a data frame using a list of lists. And next now I'll create another data frame. I'll just name it df2, and you can see the same way I've created two rows and it has two columns. So the column names are A and B. So this is the data frame df2. So let me try to print df2. I'm commenting out df1 printing so that you can see df2 in the output. Okay, so now let me try to run this. Here you go, you can see my data frame has two columns A and B and the rows are 5, 6, 7, 8. Since I didn't mention index, the index will be auto generated 0 and 1 for df2. The same way for df1 also, the index will be 0 and 1. So now what I'll do is I'll just print both of the data frames for you. Here I am writing print df1 equal to, and I'll copy the same line and write print df2. Now I'll run this. Now you can see df1 equal to this one. It has two rows 1, 2, 3, 4, AB are the columns. df2 is this one. It has two rows 5, 6, 7 and AB are the columns. Now my goal is to make this as a one data frame. Keep df2 below df1. Then how can I do that? It's really simple, guys. You just write df3 equal to df1 dot append of df2. That's all. So df1 dot append df2 will keep df2 below df1 and create a new data frame. In my case I named it as df3. So I'll just write print of df3, and for the sake of readability I'll just write. So let me try to show you the output now, guys. So here you can see df1 is 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, rows. df2 is 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can see df3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything has come in one data frame. So basically you have successfully appended one data frame with another. But I've seen one problem here. My data frame's index was auto generated. So in the first data frame it was 0 and 1. In the second data frame it is 0 and 1. Pandas doesn't disturb the index if you don't mention. It's good actually sometimes if you have indexes which are auto generated, which are unique indexes, you don't want to disturb them, right? But in my case, in this example, I want the index to be auto generated again so that I don't want duplicate index numbers, right? So how can I do that? It's really simple. You just write ignore index equal to true. So what it does is it will generate the index again irrespective of the source data frames. So once again index will be generated and assigned to the new data frame. So df1 dot append df2, and I am telling ignore index so that a fresh index will be created and given to a new data frame which is appending of first and second data frames. So let me try to run this, and now you can see I got 0 1 2 3. So this is how ignore index can be used to create a fresh index of the appended data frame. So that's it guys, it's really simple. You just use df.append df2 and you'll get the output data frame. I mean, you can even chain this, right? Let me try to do this. Dot append, once again append df1 again. So let me try to see how it looks like. So I'm chaining two data frames. So let me try to run this and show you. I have chained 3 data frames so that I can get a single data frame. So you can use chaining like this, and the same way you can even do ignore index in every step. Ignore index equal to true, and you know what, you don't need that at the first step. If you give it at the second step itself, it's okay. So now I'm writing ignore index is equal to 2 here, so I'm running here. So you can see 0 1 2 3 4 5. I've appended 3 data frames just using the method chaining. So you can do that for appending data frames. And yeah, so that's it guys. This is how you can use df.append to append 2 data frames into one, or multiple data frames using chaining, just I showed you like this. Okay, so yeah, this was about appending one data frame with another. But now I am giving you another use case where if you want to append an individual row to the data frame. So I'll just print df1, and again I'll just tell you what was the problem statement. I'll run this code, and now I'm printing df1. So df1 is 1 2 3 4. So if you want to append a new row to this data frame, one way is to create a new data frame and append it, but there's an easy way by using df.lock, which I've shown here, df.lock function. So how is that done? So to understand appending, I'll just show you how you can modify in the first place. So you know, the at index label 1, the data is 3 and 4, right? So if you want to change it, how can I do that? I just write df1 dot lock location, that's the index location of 1, equal to, if I want to change 3 and 4 with 6 comma 9, now my data frame will be changed. I'll just print df1 again, and I'll show you how it looks like. So what I did was, in the index location 1 the data was 3 and 4. Now what I did was, at index location 1 make the data 6 and 9. So I'm doing like this, and I'm printing now. You can see my data has changed here. First it was 3 and 4 at index location 1. Now I made it 6 and 9 at index location 1. So basically, using df.lock, what you can do is you can assign data to an index location. And one more thing I want to specify here is, the index locations here are 0 and 1, right? So now if I give a new index location, a new row will be created, and this technique is what we can use to create new rows in a data frame. So suppose, to demonstrate my point, here you have index location 0 and 1, right? So now at index location 2, if I keep the data as 6 and 9, since index location 2 was not present, a new row will be created with index name as 2, and the data will be 6 and 9. So let me try to save this and run it. And now you can see, before the index was 0 and 1 and the data was 1 2 3 4. Now I have given a new index and assigned data to it. So now this way I have created new row in this data frame. So this way lock function can be used to create new data in the data frame as rows. So this is really powerful guys. You don't need to create a new data frame altogether. You just need to specify the index location and give the data, that's all. And if your data has only 2 columns, this is good. But if your data has some 100 columns, and if you want to assign only values to some 3-4 columns in that 100 columns, how can you do that? You have to create a pandas series. Now I'll just write pd dot series, and now I'll give an object to this with the names of the columns. So suppose column A value in this new row is something like 5, and the column B value in this new row is suppose 10. So what I'm telling is, at index location 2, this will be the data. And how I'm giving the data? I'm not giving an array this time in the sequence of column names. I'm giving the series, pandas series, as a row, so that pandas will figure out which data should be given to which column. And here I'm initializing my series with a dictionary, and I'm just telling, for a column A, give this value in this row, and for column B, give this value in this row. So now I just save it and run it. You can see at index location 2, I have given value 5 to column A and value 10 to column B. There are two advantages of using this type of approach. One advantage is you don't need to know the column sequence, which is a very great thing if you have a lot of columns. And another advantage is basically you don't need to go all column values. I'll just demonstrate how it can be done just now. So in my series I have given only one column B and I have assigned the value to it. So let me try to see how it looks like. So now what I did was, for df1 at location 2 I am giving the data as this, and in this you can see I didn't give value to column name A. So let me try to see how it looks like. Here you can see for column A, since I did not give data in this series, it has taken itself as nan, not a number, which is a data type in NumPy. So basically it is filled null values in the columns which I did not mention. So this is really powerful, guys, because if you have some 100 columns and you want to mention the value of the new row with only 10 columns, you just write dot lock equal to and a series, and just mention the values of the columns as dictionary in this, and that's all. You don't need to mention the column order, or you don't need to mention null values for the other columns. So this is really powerful, guys. While creating a new row, you can use pandas series to give new data. And okay, if you have, like my example, if you have very less columns and you can assign values, then you can use the plain old array style. For the new row, these are the values and the sequence will be preserved, a comma b, and it's 5 comma 10. So let me try to run this again and show you. In the new location 2, the data is 5 comma 10 and the columns are a and b, so that's why for a and b you got 5 and 10. So this is easy way, but there are drawbacks. You have to know the column order and you have to give all the values. I mean, I can demonstrate to you. If I give only 5 and run this, it will throw me an error. It is telling cannot set row with mismatched columns, because I have to give the value of all columns, otherwise it won't accept. But in my previous case where I've given a series, I can just give sparse data. I can only give the data for which columns I want in a new row. This is a real powerful way, guys. So this method can be used like in a scenario where your program needs to calculate each row and assign it to a data frame that way. And here you can see I've written dot lock of 2, because I know my length of the data frame is 1 and its index is auto generated. If you don't know, you can just write length of df1. So what I'm telling is, if df1 has some 2 rows, then the maximum index will be 1 if your index is auto generated. Then the length of it is 2, so I've written df length of 1. So this way, using the same code, I can attach new data. Suppose here I want to give it 4. So what I did was, the same code I am running here and I am assigning new data, because I have given length of df1 here. It knows that the length has changed. So let me try to run this and show you again. Here I've got 2 rows. One in which B was given and one is A was given. So let me try to run a for loop now. I'll write n equal to, which is a list of numbers. So I'll write 12, 15, 87 or something like that. Now for for k in n, I'll just copy this here. I'll just cut this out. Dot lock of length of df1 p dot series. So here I'll give k. I'm just setting the row A here, column A here. So what I'm doing is, for each value in this series n, I'm assigning a new row, and here you can see I'm giving length of df1, which changes every time you add a new row, right? So this way you can append new rows in a data frame. So let me try to run this and show you here. Here you can see I've added new rows using a for loop. So this lock function is powerful if you want to add dynamically rows to a data frame. That was it, guys. That was how to append new rows or data frame itself to an existing pandas data frame. You can see I've created a blog post on how to do this, and I've given you the sample codes of using append function. You can copy paste and practice it yourself, and I've given sample code of using the lock function also, and I've given the links of related videos also in the description of this video, so be sure to check out the description of this video. That's it, guys. Hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.